Creating the best club climate. Oh, yeah. Good morning.
Use judiciously at least once a week.
So I've been asked to use the word judicious because that's the word of the day, and you're supposed to applaud.
Yeah.
That's also a check to figure out if people are awake. So this is part of a series that we are supposed to be doing, any club is supposed to be doing. We need to discuss about the club climate. When our VPE Ram asked me, I said, why not? Because I didn't know what I was getting into, like all this. He gave me a PPT that we could use. And that's a standard PPT everybody uses. So the immediate reaction to that was to close it and then see what we can do differently. Because we are an advanced club, so we are supposed to be doing something really different. And I thought, okay, let's stand by that. My first question to all of you is, what do you mean by being an advanced club?
7 o'clock meeting.
7 a.m. meeting, okay.
It's a matured group of audience.
Matured group of audience. That's
Actually, we are
controversial.
Yeah, not.
Matured in what?
I am left out. Mature.
Why do you call ourselves advanced?
Make Toastmasters as professional speakers to
Make,
some extent.
to some extent, make Toastmasters into professional speakers. Okay.
We set standards.
We set standards. Okay.
Called by other Toastmaster Club for education sessions.
We have learned the basics.
Sorry?
We have learned the basics. Here we are to try new things.
Like-minded people.
Like-minded people. When you're answering this, mind you, you're also challenging other clubs which are not advanced. And also, there is so much of ambiguity in every answer. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Meaning that kind of shows that we really don't know.
They relay a comment.
Actually, I thought we should go back to your first slide. So there is ambiguity, but definitely we are trying to do something different so that we question the status quo. I think that's the biggest challenge we all Toastmasters are facing in any club. We come to a saturation point and then we start questioning ourselves as to what am I doing here? What am I gaining here? Or what am I contributing? And the answer invariably is no for everything. And that is when people stop attending club meetings and they go around looking for that nirvana moment. Meaning, shall I attend a different club? Maybe my club is not able to offer me. Let me attend another club. And they attend another club. First 2 meetings, they're excited because new faces. And but after that, they feel that, oh, it's no different than my club. And I've heard from many Toastmasters who have stopped attending Toastmasters because they think that Toastmasters stopped offering anything new to me. I think that's, again, an individual's perspective. But I think we need to go deep and figure out why is that these people are saying that Toastmasters stopped offering them anything of value. Probably the answer was, okay, why not an advanced Toastmasters club? So that I got stuck here. Let me move to an advanced Toastmaster club. Now what is that is happening that is different, that is giving me something new? And that was the objective of this club. We started with a lot of excitement. But somewhere down the line, we feel that we have reached a point where we need to relook at the whole thing and then see if we can really stick on to this word advanced, because not too many guests today, there's only one guest. It's your second meeting, and I'm sure you're excited.
I expected this.
So let's quickly relook at how do we change the climate of this club so that it becomes neither too warm nor too cold, and it maintains a climate that everybody gets excited to be in. Number 2, what is that we can offer Toastmasters beyond what they've achieved in their existing club, so that they feel that there is some advancement in their learning process. Number 3, how do we make the environment so exciting that everybody gets to involve in every meeting? That's another challenge many Toastmasters are facing, because sometimes they're not doing a project, they're not doing a role. They just come, sit there, shake their head, smile and walk away, wondering, oh my God, I didn't get to do anything, I came all the way here. Probably we may have to figure out ways by which we can accomplish all of this. I'm removing other hygiene factors mentioned in the club climate presentation, where they're talking about you need to greet your guests, and you need to give feedback, and you need to mentor. All of these things are basic hygiene for any club. For an advanced club, it should be a given. I think we are doing all that really well. We of course make guests feel wanted, and we make them feel comfortable. We give feedback quite a lot to our own members, so all that is taken care of. Now, when I started wondering in the last 1 year, we are almost reaching the 50th meeting, 2 years ago. Okay, so how have we matured, and where have we gone? I won't say wrong, but where have we deviated? One, I really love the book review sessions. Every time I listen to a book review, at least it motivates me to read a book, not necessarily that book. At least it tells me, man, you have to come and do a book review someday, so better read a book. So that inculcates a habit. Another exciting outcome of that exercise is, without even reading a book, I get a feeling that I've read that book. So now that you've told me about this book, I don't actually feel like reading that book, because I'm going to go through all those points. And today in this fast world, we don't have time to go through the 235 pages plus 5 pages. We just want to get things in 5 pages. That's what we are looking for. So that way, I think that's standing there. It is proven that book review works, tick, and we have not lost out on that. Now, we spoke about so many other things that we want to implement in this club. Somewhere down the line, it fell off. Today, my objective is to figure out if we can revive some of those, and then see if that can add value to us. But before that, we need to figure out what is our objective of coming here at 7 a.m. in the morning. Like Sundaraman sir said, maybe we want to become a professional speaker, and this is the right path. Step 2. Step 1 is the regular Toastmasters. Step 2 is an advanced Toastmasters. Step 3, of course, become a professional speaker. Again, that is an individual's choice to become that or not. For me, the reason why I'm coming here at 7 a.m. is to figure out how can I learn from every meeting and implement it in my personal and official life. I think that's what we all are trying to do in Toastmasters. These days, when I go to a meeting, I refer to books that have been reviewed here. And the customers are very excited listening to that, number 1. Number 2, as soon as the meeting is over, I quickly ask them, can you give me 5 points as a feedback for us to improve? Most of the customers are like really wondering what's happening. You mean feedback of what? I said, what just happened? I mean, what do you feel about this meeting? Is there a positive and negative that you can tell me that I can take back and learn? They're not used to this. And they're surprised that somebody is doing it right on their face, and they don't know how to react. Yesterday I happened to be in a prospective a company which is just a lead, and I was meeting them for the first time. These are people who are PhDs from IIT. That's a company incubated by IIT Madras, and all big heads and all grey hairs sitting in front of me. And high-tech telecom engineers explaining things to me which I did not understand at all. Through the 2 hours I sat there, probably for 5 minutes I was listening. The rest all went above my head. But we were giving ideas, constantly giving ideas, because that's what our experience has been. Whether it connects to their industry or not, we were just collecting our thoughts and giving ideas, and those people seemed to be very excited. Finally, I asked the gentleman who's a CEO, KVN Nair. I asked him, sir, can you spare another 2 minutes by giving feedback? He said, what feedback? He said, whatever just happened. No, I didn't notice anything. So he said, probably you would have noticed something. Then I said, this is a usual ritual for us. We ask for feedback. He spent the next 1 hour giving feedback. The meeting stopped at 1. Till 2, he was talking about this concept called feedback. He says, the last time I ever received feedback was 20 years ago. After that, people stopped giving me feedback. I stopped giving feedback, thinking that probably people find it useless. Today, for the first time after so many years, somebody is coming and telling me feedback. Wow, man. Let me tell you one thing before I start giving you feedback. You are selected. I was like, what? Yeah, you're selected. Just for the reason that you asked me feedback, I think you people are genuine. You people really want to grow. And probably I think that is what we need to be looking for. Forget the skills. Everybody has skills. But I like this quality of yours. That's when I thought, man. So feedback is something I learned in Toastmasters, nowhere else. Otherwise, feedback is taken for light, right? The reason why I'm telling this here specifically is, somewhere else also I read, if you stop receiving feedback from people, it means they're not genuine towards you. Sometimes feedbacks are very irritating. People come and tell, no, you were standing just in one place, you could have moved. I get annoyed. What is your problem? First thought. I'm just talking about my voice. Second one is, that's my style. He doesn't know what my style is. So we kind of become defensive to feedback. But look at that person's objective. It is none of his business to first come and give you feedback. Is he giving you feedback to downgrade you, stop you from doing? He, as a part of the audience, thought that if you had done this, it would have been better. He genuinely thought this guy should grow, and he comes and gives his feedback. But these days, even if you have a genuine thought, we are a little hesitant because I don't know what he will think. I don't know whether he'll like my feedback. And then finally withdraw from giving feedback. Ages ago in 2006, when I joined Toastmasters, I had a mentor, Janaki Prasad Patnaik. Some of you know. I used to call him tormentor, because he will not let you go until you do what he asked you to do. He came up with an idea in our club, because we have this ballot paper that is provided by Toastmaster International that has a feedback section. None of us use it. I'm sure no club uses it these days. And he insisted everybody who attended the meeting, apart from the guests, to write feedback for all the 3 prepared speeches. And he will personally collect it. Go and stand near the door, collect it. And if you have not filled it, he said, please go, fill that, give it to me, and you can go. With a straight face he will tell, no smile, nothing. Just because this guy will ask, everybody will just gather together and write something. And after that, the very next meeting, he will not give it to those speakers. The very next meeting, he will bring the entire form and pull out 5 top feedback that really he really liked, and the worst 5 feedback. So the next meeting onwards, we were really scared that, oh my God, I need to give constructive feedback, not just for the sake of filling the form. Your speech was good. You rather don't give me that feedback. And he'll pull out names. And I've been pulled out many times by him.
Can you
I'm
imagine?
not surprised.
You're not surprised. I know, even I'm not surprised.
The top 5 days.
The top, no, the last 5. And top in that, right? Those days I used to find it really annoying. I used to hate him. But today when I look back, the kind of feedback that I received in those 3 years completely transformed me as a speaker, because people gave me things that nobody else noticed, and obviously I didn't notice. But they started listening to my every word so carefully, because they felt at the end I have a duty to do. I need to fill this feedback, and I better do a genuine duty because JP will pull me. There is a reactive action happening there, and people were genuine about it. Now when I connect what this gentleman felt about feedback, I feel feedback is very important. We may have to put all of these things together and then bring back that culture of giving feedback to every speaker, because imagine when I come and stand here, do my prepared speech, and my evaluator says, you did a great job. I go back thinking that I did a great job. Instead, 20 people give me feedback, and each of you giving me specific feedback that the other person has not noticed. One, it improves your listening skills. You are intently listening. Number 2, you feel that this is where he went wrong. I should not do the same mistake when I come here. So in the process, you are learning to avoid that mistake. And when people come and read those feedbacks, we all know, wow, there are different ways to look at it. And eventually what happens, we all will become great evaluators. When we come here to evaluate, we know how to analyze those speeches, how to give constructive feedback, and how to give recommendations. Many times I felt recommendations are the lowest point in any evaluation because they don't know what to tell. He spoke here. Now what do I don't know, I'm like keenly looking for Srini to give recommendations for Sundaraman's speech today. Right? So that's why, because we feel it's okay. And sometimes the recommendations do not excite people. And then so what are we evaluating? So we get into some kind of complacency. Now at Meraki, I want all of these things, I wish all of these things come into effect so that everybody benefits. At 7 a.m., 3 p.m. I attend a club, I'm not looking for many things. But when I attend a club at 7 a.m., when I walk out at 9 a.m., I'm looking for many things. More than the breakfast, I want to ask myself, dude, what did you learn today? And each of us can contribute to each other's learning, rather than restricted to people who come on stage to teach us things. So how do we improve the club climate? In summary, I want one suggestion from each of you. I'll start with the Freely Education. Is there one point you think that we can do to improve the club's climate?
One thing which strikes me now is like after the meeting we ask feedback only from the guests. We can ask from each member like what is the one learning you had today.
Fantastic. Okay. Implementable?
Nothing implementable.
Fantastic. So go ahead. So we'll probably implement today.
Assigning mentor for everyone and giving mentor to be very constructive in the giving is
Fantastic. I think that is there. I'm sure there's like communication gone, but again we took it so light. Either the mentee took it very light or mentor took it light. I received mails from various clubs saying so and so Jay Narayanan has been assigned as a mentor for you, blah blah blah. After that, I never heard from anybody, including the person who emailed me or the people who are listed in that list. So probably they didn't find me as an appropriate mentor. Probably that's the reason. But yes, mentoring is definitely very important.
Like here, everybody are dual members, everyone, all 20 of them. Bring one best practice from your club, the other club, what you learned or what was very interesting there, where it is not here. Everybody, if they bring one best practice, if it can be implemented by the exco, they can be implemented.
Fantastic. I would go one step ahead and say bring one best practice from anywhere.
To start with.
No, to start with Toastmaster, absolutely, because that's a connecting point. But we all are working somewhere. There is something happening in our office that is very exciting for us in our meetings, right? Why not implement that?
Sure.
Maybe, right? So two things we need to bring. One best practice from a Toastmaster thing and another best practice from anywhere
Every
else.
day.
Even at home, some people have some practices around dinner table. Yes, Sasa?
I was just thinking when you were doing this session, there is this organization called BNI, and a lot of people don't like BNI because it's very rigid. You have to do certain things in every meeting, and a lot of people don't go because of it. But I think that's also the reason why they're very successful. So I think we should dwell more into understanding how an organization like BNI has a more rigid structure that can probably push our up the ant a little more,
For example?
set the bar a little more. Like in BNI, every meeting when people go in, they have to get up and talk about what they did last week for 30 seconds. And there is a challenge that is given to them. They have to fulfill the challenge, come back and address the club again on how they did it. Like BNI is about lead generation, right? So they'll all have to come back and tell how they generated a lead. And there's one more segment where every member gets up and asks for a connection. They say, I am looking for a connection at Ashok Leyland, and some other member in the club should contribute to it. They have a format where they track it and they see who contributed the most and they put them to shame in typical words. But what I think is something that we can follow is we talk about a lot of things that we all should implement. We don't. We probably should bring the tracker back on stage in front of everybody to push the challenge up in some way, either in speaking or leadership or some practice that we've taken back from the advanced club.
Absolutely. And if any of you attend the BNI meetings, I think you should attend just to understand the rigidity factor.
I've been called,
Sorry?
invited.
Yeah, and there are like Toastmasters, that's also mushrooming in every corner of the city. There are independent chapters. They don't have anything to do with either of the chapters because they're conflicting companies who
I think this 30-second talk will improve. Suppose, for example, if you have given a speech somewhere else, that will also bring the networking where you can go and speak there. So
I think
it's very
I think we should, as members, if we go and attend a BNI meeting as guests only, then they'll be able to relate. Because as I'm telling this to you, you might be thinking how it will be and all of it. It's not explainable, like Jayan said. You know, there's a sense of accountability that comes on table in a BNI meeting, which I feel is what a club like Meraki or any Toastmasters club lacks. We take it too much for granted. There's no sense of accountability for personal growth or mutual growth.
Absolutely.
What is BNI?
Business Networking International. You can look up.
And it's an international forum.
Different forum.
Yeah.
anyone can attend. Is there a
Yeah, it's a team of entrepreneurs largely, or you can even represent your organization. It is basically a networking platform for exchanging leads. One of the BNI chapters that I attended, there was a father and daughter. Oh, it's already read for me. If you can just give me another 5 minutes, if you don't mind. Okay. There's a father and daughter who represented Nandini Sweets. And I just sitting there wondering, what's Nandini Sweets doing here? Why are they in a BNI network? But the maximum amount of leads goes to them. Somebody says there is a birthday party, talk to them. There's something else happening, talk to them. And they go and tell the other person, I've asked Nandini Sweets to talk to you. So if I want to buy sweets for a function, Nandini Sweets is not in my radar. It's Sri Krishna Sweets that is in radar. But just because my friend told me, I will straight go to Nandini. And that's the power of networking. BNI shows the power of networking. The other day, one lady called me and said, hey, I'm bringing one of my friends. He is in an event management company. You're into marketing. You might know several people in organizations. So we will connect for lunch. I said, give me some more dough. No. This is what is happening. When can I come and meet you for lunch? And you tell me when. So I was in Alwarpet. I said, eating circle, because it is walkable from my office. She comes from Tidal Park. The guy comes from Saukarpet. And then I was just wondering, why is all the way to come and meet me? A sharp 1 o'clock, they both landed, and I'm sitting there. The guy is a stranger to me. He gives me his card and we talk. He quickly gives, I think it is all timed for them. He quickly gives me a 2-minute introduction about his organization. And this lady says, he's the best that you can see. I've seen him work. So there is a testimonial coming from a person I know very well, and about a stranger who's sitting right in front of me. And immediately, without my knowledge, I'm giving him context. I'm telling him there is an event coming up and we can work together. I don't even know his credentials. But there is one person who gives authority about this guy's performance. So this is how networking works. And VNI very clearly showcases that. And they, like you said, they get points for introducing one of the members to another influencer, not necessarily a customer, an influencer, and they religiously do it. She takes time off her work, brings this guy, coordinates, and I thrice moved this meeting, and she was absolutely cool about it. Until it happened, she was cool.
I want to challenge myself. For the next meeting, I want to bring ideas that BNI implements and see how we can do it in Toastmasters. This is something that's way out of my comfort zone, and I probably just say this here as a suggestion and never talk about it, right? But I'm thinking how to take responsibility. I'm going to challenge myself to come back with an analogy of how those can be implemented here. So, VP, plug me in for a putty session.
Okay, quickly, I'll finish my round. I have another 3 minutes.
Okay, quickly, as we all Toastmasters, we all know what we do and all. I suggest everyone who are working in corporate or an entrepreneur, if they share their experience or as you said, whatever, I won't say best practice, but something to learn. Something unique happened in a customer place. That's going to really help all us. Almost most of us are working, either handling situations or whatever. That would help us to grow better. It's a non-Toastmaster thing, which we can bring.
Definitely.
I was thinking something in Shasta's line. Challenge yourself. Are we challenging enough? For example, Shasta should give a humorous speech. And it is supposed to be humorous. And it's a challenge on him. Okay, similarly...
Is that just an example? Huh? It is supposed to be
just telling.
Exactly.
So Jayan should come prepared. He should give a prepared speech.
Yeah.
Okay. Or something like Sundaraman sir should not use PPT. So I should speak pen sensible. Something like that. So we need to challenge ourselves. We need to, maybe one of us should challenge the other person. You have to do this in the upcoming meeting.
Nice.
And
That's
when
nice.
we do that, so we know that okay, we can do it, or where we are also we could understand, because we are all very comfortable in
At the
what
end
we are
of the
doing.
day, people should not be stereotyped.
True.
Exactly.
Moving
Yeah.
out
So
of
we are
comfort
here
zone.
to learn a lot of new things.
Expand your
True.
comfort zone.
So that is what I was thinking. I was thinking only in terms of speeches and what we do. Shasta had brought it to the macro level.
Oh, fantastic. Satish?
No, more than the members alone of Meraki, we also had the challenge of bringing in guests as well as the new members. I think in line with the recent advanced club which I attended in Hamburg, advanced speakers, they had a problem of getting 20 members for about 14 months. Then they started the club. Even now they had about attendance of 8 to 10, but still the membership was 14 to 16. One thing I see them distinct is like they have 2 meetings in a month. One meeting, the first Thursday, their evening meeting is 2 hours, full meeting with speeches and everything. Always the second meeting, the third week, first and third they meet. Second meeting is they collect the ideas or the expectations from the members, and they do a full-fledged session for 2 hours. They just don't have a meeting at all. We do kind of once in quarter some session, and we call them, 10 people comes, 14 people comes. But for the members, regularly for the member, they're doing for members. Maybe we think who's the target people for us to become members. Something in that line we can think and do some dedicated, not 2 hours, dedicated 1 hour session, which can give more value addition than comparing a regular 20-minute session or 30-minute session in any club. Because normally education session happens for 20 minutes just for the purpose of fixing someone or bringing some contest related one. But real life professional exposure, something we can do like 1 full hour, that meeting will be dedicated for that, might be create some interest for new people or someone, regular members also.
What Sasta said, that what did you do for that week to work on and then come and present? That will be very interesting. Everybody can
Brainstorming.
To add on, we have a lot of
Brainstorming,
different professionals, entrepreneurs, working. So they can come and speak about that and how they can use it in their life, something like that.
Okay, fine. We are running out of time.
Quickly, I wanted to just reiterate, we started this earlier in Meraki, but we kind of tend to overlook it now, is only recommendation evaluations. The reason why I was very much interested in Meraki evaluations is because when we started, we initially thought we will do only recommendations and suggestions and talk very less or even zero out what went good in the speech. When we did that, I found really helpful, because many times all of them say that was a super speech, fantastic speech and all of that. Very few people give out very specific recommendations. I think we have to start meetings where we announce prior to all the guests and also the members, we will be doing only recommendation evaluations for that particular meeting. And I want more of those kind of meetings.
Yeah, I just want to take 30 seconds. When I entered Meraki, my first evaluation was on Toastmaster Ashok. So when he was telling there's no whitewashing here, you have to give only recommendations. So I stringently followed, and Raghav and Sridhar, who were there as guests, everybody criticized me saying that, what is this? And nobody voted for me, believe me. And the person who was on ads and speaking so much, so good about the other person won. It's not about winning or anything. So the objective is not meant saying, giving that it has to be only recommendation.
True. That's why I'm saying we have to definitely set the expectation and then go.
Probably the PMOD can just tell that
Yeah.
there are certain things that happen differently here for the sake of the guests,
Exactly.
and then tell that this is one ritual that we follow. But definitely that's important. Yes, sir.
I have 2 things to share here. One is, number one, at least at the end of this exercise, we should put everything in black and white, saying that how we are different as an advanced club. 3 or 4 lines. So that should be in different modes of communication, saying that this is how we are different. So that should be in black and white, number one. Number 2 is membership drive. I'm not saying that we have to increase to 30 or 40, but whoever is appropriate, we should bring in. And till now, even now, I think that we are acting like a Freemasons club. So people are mysterious about it. They are not scared. So these Freemasons, you are aware.
Yeah,
So
that's
people
another
think they are
thing.
not
Yeah, I'm just
scared, but
thinking
so these are all.
They have a perception.
They have a perception. They are a group of people. They don't want to increase their membership. They want to meet secretly at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they don't want to interact with us. They are not open. Even now, I still have that feeling, even after joining here. And many of my colleagues, they have such kind of feeling. At the high time, we have to demystify that.
Demystify that, absolutely, absolutely. I think it all depends on how we go out and talk about the club. So that's where the difference is. Obviously, we should not be looked at like that. I'll skip the.
But we don't have any agenda like that.